It's unfortunate America was subjected the second time to war economics because the outcome was identical to what happened during the Long Gilded Age. The nation's wealth was transferred to the hands of a powerful elite, accompanied by a contraction of the middle class, and the nation finally ended up in economic collapse. And both times the nation called upon a Democratic president to clean up the mess. I get a kick out of those that call President Obama a socialist. Anybody who's studied history knows that the socialists hated President Obama's mentor, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, more than any other 20th century Democratic leader. Why? You know, what few socialists there are left are dancing in the streets these days because the consequences of core economics support everything bad Marx predicted about capitalism. By applying some common sense, pragmatic safeguards and safety nets to our free market system, very much in line with what Adam Smith advocated over 200 years ago, FDR proved that you can have your cake and eat it too. He proved you can enjoy the wealth creation, the freedom and efficiency of free market capitalism, and still have a just society where everyone has a chance to share in the American dream. The tremendous post-war boom that lasted for 30 years, created by the New Deal, is the most powerful repudiation of socialism in the history of the world. Now that we're in the midst of a New Deal, we hear the conservatives complaining. You know, Democrats do make mistakes. There's going to be some course corrections needed in President Obama's plan. The current economic crash is unique, and it's going to take some work to get through it. And we may not all agree with everything in President Obama's plan, but compare his program to what the Republicans are proposing. Their playbook comes straight from Herbert Hoover. These guys are so blinded by their ideology that they refuse to learn the lessons of history. You know, I worry about the deficit spending myself, but I can't describe how angry it makes me when I see Rob Bishop going around talking about generational theft when he was poo-pooing the huge deficits he was creating during our debates back in 2006. I can't think of anyone with less credibility than a Bush-era Republican congressman going around preaching about fiscal responsibility. Of course, it's not just at the national level that core economics has been a disaster. The Utah legislature the last dozen years has used surpluses from the bubble economy to make significant regressive changes in our tax structure. Now that the bubble has burst, the modest gains that we've made in education and other areas are in danger of quickly unraveling. Ironically, the legislature was spared the full impacts of this thanks to the president's stimulus package. But they won't be so lucky in future years. There's never been a time when the need of Utah Democrats' pragmatic approach is more needed, because the huge surpluses from the bubble economy, those things aren't going to happen anymore. We're going to need to make some tough decisions, and we can't be led by the ideologues while we're doing it. In summary, recent events, and this is what we need to get across to our neighbors, recent events confirm the truth of President Roosevelt's prophetic words back in 1936. We've always known that heedless self-interest was bad morals. We now know that it's bad economics. To those who claim that we're socialists, I have a really simple answer. It's not the goal of Democrats to destroy free market capitalism. Our goal is to prevent the capitalists and Republicans from destroying free market capitalism. In contrast to core economics, we have a different vision, and I would refer you to the platform in your packet today. What a great statement of our Utah values and honest, pragmatic, common sense government. It's what this state needs. Now, I need to back up for a minute. I don't want you to misunderstand. Utahns are the most kind, selfless, and wonderful people in the world. Our friends and neighbors who call themselves Republicans are good people, maybe slightly confused. We Democrats like to make fun of Chris Butters, but I'm convinced that Chris Butters, the man, is not selfish, greedy, or mean-spirited, but his political ideology is. I've talked enough to my friends and neighbors to know that deep inside there's a dissonance between what many of them claim as a political philosophy and what's in their hearts. I used to think I was a Republican, but the dissonance got so great that I couldn't ignore it. My feeling is that that dissonance is reaching a crescendo out there, and many of our fellow citizens, and because of the events of the last year, will continue to grow. And so we have a great opportunity if we will stand up and be proud of who we are. Now, I've got some ideas on how we can go about this, and we'll be sending out some emails to the party as we go along and talk about what some of our plans are. But the most important thing is we got to go back to good old-fashioned neighborhood politics. We're going to work with our new secretary. We're going to give you a really good list of the ledge chairs, the precinct chairs, and we're going to encourage you to get with the Democrats in your neighborhood. Let's get hobnobbing with each other a little more. This socialization will hopefully lead towards next election season when all these neighborhood Democrats, with literature in hand, go to their neighbors and work for our candidates. It's a simple process, but one that would yield miracles if we actually do it. The time has come for all of us to stand up and speak out. For me and my house, we're proud to be Democrats, and I'm not afraid to tell my neighbors why. If all of us collectively make the effort to do this, we'll be amazed at the results. You know, we've all complained about the negative and misleading propaganda out there about our values, but the only ones that can fix that is us. One friend and one neighbor at a time. Now, there are some real boneheads out there. Don't waste your time arguing with them. Concentrate your member missionary work on where it's going to bear fruit. I believe most of it will. In closing, let me say very sincerely, our neighbors in Weber County are wonderful people. They're too good for us to allow them to continue to believe that modern movement conservatism reflects their values. Now's the time to help our neighbors rediscover their inner angels the way we were 30 years ago when Weber County was a Democratic town. I appreciate your support. Look forward to working with you the next